it's Jim Hutchins for the Jerusalem Connection Spot Report for this week. Well, the ceasefire has been in effect for a week today. How long will it last? Who knows? But if it runs according to pattern, according to the past, it won't last long. As a matter of fact, it's just a matter of time before the Palestinians, Hamas, Hezbollah, somebody attacks again. Let me read just some excerpts from some articles concerning this so-called ceasefire. Ted Bellman writes for Israel Pundit. He writes an op-ed piece, said the ceasefire agreement is no agreement. Let's look at the wording. A, Israel should stop all hostilities in the Gaza Strip, land, sea, and air, including incursions and targeting of individuals. All Palestinian factions shall stop all hostilities from the Gaza Strip against Israel, including rocket attacks and all attacks along the border. C, opening the crossings and facilitating the movements of people and transfer of goods, refraining from restricting residents' free movements and targeting residents in border areas, and procedures of implementation shall be dealt with after 24 hours from the start of the ceasefire. The problem is this: an agreement is constituted when both sides make commitments to each other. No commitments exist here. Furthermore, the parties didn't sign it. Why not? Israel can't enter into agreement with the Palestinian factions, only with states. Israel didn't want to appear to have concluded a deal with Hamas and thereby elevating its stature. Thus, each party ceased from shooting in the expectation that the other would also. So far, these expectations have been met. The shooting has stopped. However, Depkafile writes an article entitled Middle East in High Suspense Over Gaza Operation Sequels. That is, what's coming next. While Israel's pillar of cloud was still in full spate over the Gaza Strip and southern Israel, the United States, Russia, Iran, Israel, and Turkey were each respectively putting their next moves in place in a broader radius. As for Tehran, Saturday, November 24th, President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad phoned the Hamas prime minister in the Gaza Strip, Ismail Haniyeh, and the jihadist Islamic leaders to assure them that Iran will continue to supply them with munitions as before and fulfill their depleted arsenals within weeks. This assurance was widely publicized in Tehran as a deterrence for the U.S., Egyptian, Israeli plan to shut down arms smuggling routes through the Sinai to the Gaza Strip. And then finally, just this article, it's an op-ed piece in the Jerusalem Post written by Alan Dershowitz entitled Why Ceasefire Will Not Last. Ceasefire between Israel and Hamas may end the immediate exchange of rockets, but it's not likely to be of long duration. He says in conclusion, what can we expect, therefore, is a relatively short truce. Hamas calls it a hudna, and that simply means in Arabic that there'll be a cessation of hostilities while they regroup, rearm, resupply themselves. Hamas calls it a hudna that will last until Hamas decides it is time to invoke its strategy once again. Israel will respond as it has in the past. In Israel, this is called mowing the lawn, cutting down Hamas periodically with no real expectation that the deadly grass will not continue to grow. The deadly grass will continue to grow. We've seen this sad movie time and time again. Israel is attacked by Arabs, by Palestinians. They respond, and when they're getting the upper hand, there's always a ceasefire that's imposed by the U.S., the UN, the EU. And so it's never brought to a conclusion. There are no commitments nor agreements that have been signed. That's going to continue. We're going to continue until we recognize that something has to be brought to a conclusion. Jews and Christians alike who understand their Bible know that before Messiah comes, there is to be a colossal clash. Zechariah speaks of it in chapter 12. A colossal clash between Israel and the surrounding peoples. Israel will win that. There are other events that have to take place as well before Messiah comes. We pray for the peace of Jerusalem. We're encouraged to do that. But actually what we're praying for is that the Messiah would come, because only when Messiah comes will there be peace in the Middle East or on earth at all. He's the one that brings peace. It will not be generated by diplomacy or ultimately by militarily, but by military action. This ongoing saga can be ceased. I think that's very important for this day. Knowing that this colossal clash must take place, I say, let's get on with it. Let's get on with this. Let's give war a chance. Till next week, Od Ki Yavo Shiloh, or until Messiah comes, Shalom Aleichem.